What's going on, guys? This is Pikachu OTC from Simple Trade. Welcome to another weekly review in which I will be talking about one or two runners. One of them is absolutely insane runner. You can see it right in front of the screen, and we'll talk about some updates from the previous weekly review as we head into May. So the first stock of this weekly review is SYSX, and as you can see on the chart, it ran 950% in only 3 days with massive volume. The latest trading day traded over $8 million of volume, which is absolutely insane for an OTC stock. Now, if we will go back to the chart, you can see that this stock was traded at the price of $15 and went all the way down to the 0048 at the lowest of the lows. Some of it was part of dilution, but as the volume came in and the dilution left the table, the stock absolutely exploded 950%. And from the chart alone, you can see that this stock has so much room to go up. And now we will talk about the reason that it ran. But first of all, SYSX is an OTCQB stock. It has a float of around 400 million. The current market cap of SYSX is $20 million, but that is almost after 950% of a run. So if you divide that by 10, you get a market cap of only $2.5 million. Now, why is that market cap so important? Because SYSX released an 8K on March 30th, where they announced that they have executed heads of terms with Ostendo Technologies Incorporation, and in that head of terms, the company and Ostendo agreed to certain terms related to the company's sale of approximately 75% of its Ethereum mining assets and certain associated real property to Ostendo for $68.5 million. Now, those $68.5 million are transferred by preferred stock, so there are stocks that are worth $68.5 million, and the market cap of SYSX before it started the run was about 2.5 million. So we're talking about thousands and thousands of percents from that current market cap, by market cap speaking only. And if I forgot to mention, SYSX is a crypto sector company. It is focused mainly on the Ethereum. Now, in that 8K, they said that the closing of this assets sale transaction will be no later than May 24th, 2022. And now we are heading into May, meaning that we have 24 days maximum for this deal to close, and it can actually happen any day from now. So keep your eyes out for SYSX. And because of that 8K and that we are getting close to that due date, the stock started to get its volume, and the diluters left the level 2 quote table, which enabled it to run so hard, 950%. And it will be very interesting to see the future of this stock because it has so much room to run. So keep your eyes out for SYSX. And now we will move on to the next company of this weekly review, and that stock is DVLP. The stock was mentioned multiple times on our Discord channel, and I also talked about it one of the previous weekly reviews, and I stated that I personally will follow up after this big massive red candle because there are much more catalysts coming in the near future, and because the analysis that we made on that previous video. So if you haven't watched this weekly review where I talked about DVLP, make sure to go back so you understand the story of that stock, because today I will only talk about what's coming in the near future. Now, the reason that the stock ran 83% in only 3 days, and look at the volume, very low volume, 3 million here, 7 million here, and only 30 million. And when I say only 30 million volume, is because that 30 million volume is equals to around $100,000 worth of trades on that stock, and this is very low. We've seen $8 million going into SYSX, and we've seen a monster 950% run. So $100,000 in an OTC stock is very, very, very low. Now, the reason that such low volume can move this stock 83% is because the float of the company is under 250 million shares, which is a great float for an OTC company. Now, as we discussed on the previous weekly review where I mentioned DVLP, there was an LOI equals to $10 million revenue worth company, and that LOI was released on April 1st. Now that's exactly 1 month from today, and most of the LOIs takes between 30 days to 45 days to be closed. So the next 2 weeks for DVLP, I am looking for that LOI to be closed, and the current market cap of DVLP is only $3.3 million. So by market cap speaking only, this should be times 3 from the current price. However, that does not mean that this stock will necessarily go to that price, but that is not the only acquisition for DVLP. As mentioned in the latest LOI, he said, stay tuned for upcoming updates, leverage partnership projects, blockchain healthcare infrastructure development, and future acquisition targets. And he also said that this LOI is only one of several deals in the pipeline, but not the largest, meaning that there is a larger acquisition that worth more than $10.5 million in the pipeline. My guess is that he tries to close the first LOI before releasing the next one. And also the CEO stated on his Twitter page that there is no dilution, and that on this day where the massive red candle happened, there was only 5 million shares diluted by an old shareholder, and that there will be no future dilution to the stock. Now that's what you love to see about OTC companies, a transparency from their CEOs. And now lastly, DVLP got a response on their LOI tweet asking if there are any updates for us, and he replied on April 27th, soon. So there are updates soon, so keep your eyes out for DVLP. If you are not following their Twitter page, this is the Twitter page OTC DVLP, and by the looks of it, there are updates that are coming soon, so keep your eyes out for that stock. Now we'll move on to another stock that we also discussed multiple times on our channel, and that stock is SNRY. Now you can see that the stock broke its support of the 0040 and might even head into the next one on the 0030, and that is due to lack of communication from the company. The latest tweet was on March 25th, but what I find interesting in that tweet is that this is the first tweet where they confirmed that the LOI has already been signed. Now, as I talked about on DVLP, most of the LOIs take between 30 to 45 days, and some of them even take 60 days. Now, SNRY tweeted that they have been under the weather. Rest assured, this deal is getting done. A reminder, when it comes time to merge new entity, we will need to do an AS increase. When we issue preferred for the deal, it will not be for dilution, only to cover control of the new company. So you need to look out for two things in the next 2 weeks, as I believe the LOI will be closed. The first one is an AS increase. If you see an AS increase, there is about 95% chances that this is for the merger and that they close this LOI. And the second one is look out for any updates sometimes in the next 2 weeks. And now another update of AlphaRidge custodianship stocks, as we covered them up on the recent previously weekly review, and they tweeted that all of AlphaRidge Capital popular tickers are now under contracts or about to be closed. Effort would shift now to closing all deals and helping them to maintain compliance. Group 2, consisting on the low floaters, would go through the audits to remove the shell tag and become eligible for OTCQB. So basically all of the tickers that we talked about on the previous weekly review are now under contracts or about to be closed. So any day from now we can see another LOI going out, so make sure to keep your eyes out on all of the 5 stocks that we covered up. And one interesting update is that NSPT increased their outstanding shares by restricted shares of 1.2 billion shares. Now that is not dilution, that might indicate a new control block of the company. So I will personally be looking at NSPT closer than the other four, but all of them should be very interesting as we head into May. Another update from NGCG is that someone reached out to Daniel asking about this news that we should hear by the end of April that we did not get, and he answered that he hoped to have something out by end of next week, meaning this week. Ultimately not my decision, but that is the plan currently. I am pushing for this as well. So looks like the news was postponed for this week, by end of this week. And after that week there was massive buying power. People bought the ask like crazy. This 5 million volume was basically slaps only, so this will also be interesting. And the last stock for this weekly review is ARGQ. We also talked about this stock and covered it up on the previous one, and the latest update is from TDS, where they tweeted, "All is good, we are under strict NDAs, so we can't say much. Timeframes will be met, everything is going smoothly. All we can say is working with these guys is like a breath of fresh air. No need to panic, be patient." So looks like the deal is getting it done. It might be delayed in a couple of days, but this deal will be done. So this week will be very interesting for ARGQ. Look out for the news that they might release, and if there are any dips, don't forget that this deal will most likely be done by that tweets, so maybe those dips could be gifts. Thank you guys for watching this weekly review. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification button so you don't miss these kind of videos. If you are not on our Simple Trade Discord community, go to the description and join us as we speak, because we alert the next runners. Once again, thank you for watching the video, and I wish you all a very, very green and a profitable week.